Hi, it's Akasha. Welcome to my podcast, 100 Days Podcast. Okay, today, 24th. Can you see that? 24th. Alright. So, today I want to talk about my favorite podcast channels. Okay, there are many podcasts I like, and I'm gonna share some of my favorite podcast channels. Okay, the first one is the ETJ English podcast, and the second one is Dish podcast, and the last one is Naomi Takes America. This is famous. Okay, the first one, the ETJ English podcast. If you love British English, if you wanna learn British English, then I do recommend this podcast. I often listen to this podcast, and this channel is run by Elliot. He's from the UK. He's British. He teaches British English, especially pronunciation, and he has his own channel on YouTube, and I often watch it. And speaking of British English, his channel, yeah. So if you're already interested in British English, and if you already started learning English, you might know this channel. Yes, this is really great. So if you are interested in British English, I do recommend this podcast and a YouTube channel. And the second one is Dish podcast. This is also British one. If you like cooking and a podcast, you might like it. You'd like it. The host of this podcast cooks and invites people, and they chat while eating. So yeah, they invite celebrities like Tom Holland. Is it correct? Tom Holland and Simon Ashley. I'm not sure. She's from Sex Education. So yeah, I love these actors. So if you love cooking and if you love a podcast, I do recommend this podcast channel. And the last one is Naomi Takes America. Okay, needless to say, this is famous and popular. And Naomi Watanabe, yeah, this channel is run by Naomi Watanabe, and she's so famous and popular in Japan. So, yeah, you know her, of course. Yeah, and this channel is really great, nice for beginners, and I still listen to her channel. Yeah, this podcast, I love it. Yeah, that is really funny. I recommended this channel to my sister because she said she wanted to study English. That's why I recommended this channel to my sister, younger sister. But I should have done it. You know, you know why? Yeah, I recommended this channel to my younger sister, but I shouldn't have done it. It's very awkward. Yeah, and that's it. All right, so today I was talking about my favorite podcast channels. All right, that's it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. So today, 25th. Can you see that? 25th. All right, so today I want to talk about, in my first year of learning English, I took 100 hours of online classes in a month. So when I started learning English, I thought I needed to speak English as much as possible, because someone said, if you want to become able to speak English, you need to speak as much as possible. and I believed it. At that time, I couldn't speak English at all. I only knew, hello, I like music, I like baseball, something like that. I couldn't speak English at all, but I don't know why I decided to take 100 hours of online classes, and some tutors were very kind, and they helped me a lot. But unfortunately, some of them just ignored me because I couldn't understand what they said, and I couldn't tell what I wanted to say, so it couldn't be helped. But a bit sad, but it couldn't be helped. I couldn't understand at all. So yeah, but eventually I've taken 100 hours of online classes. I took online classes every day. I don't know how many hours I've taken, but I did every day. And after taking 100 hours, I realized I need to learn the basics. You know what? After taking online classes, after taking 100 hours of online classes, I couldn't speak English at all. And after that, I realized I need the basics. I realized the other learners learned grammar, vocabulary, the basics. I didn't know this. I don't know why. It was late to realize, but after taking 100 hours, I realized it. So if you're like me, if you think, if you want to speak English, if you want to become able to speak English, and if you want to speak like native speakers, you think and you are about to start learning English in my way, you need to stop. If you find learning grammar, vocabulary, if you find learning the basics boring, you still need it. You still need to learn the basics. So that's it. Alright, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. So today, 26th, can you see that? Alright, so today I want to talk about British English is not easy for Japanese people. Some people say British English is easier than American English because you don't need to pronounce R or R as much in British English as in American English. Actually, yes, you don't need to pronounce R or R as much, but you need to pronounce this sound. What is it? Schwa sound. You need to pronounce schwa sound instead. You have to pronounce schwa sound, instead of R. So, what is schwa sound? Schwa sound is this sound, like water, butter, better, teacher, careful, not careful, 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 and this is a long album, but bird, not bird, bird, girl, and I said, British English is not easy for Japanese people, for this sound. So this is schwa sound, and I think schwa sound is one of the most difficult vowel sounds. I think so, because in Japanese we pronounce each sound clearly. So, like British English is not easy for Japanese people. I listen to music. Yeah, so I do. Actually, I do. So, I tend to pronounce clearly. Yeah, because in Japanese we tend to pronounce each sound clearly. That's why I do. Yeah, I'm supposed to pronounce like I'm listening to music I'm listening to music, not I'm listening to music. Yeah, I don't need to pronounce each sound clearly in English. That's why, you know what? When you pronounce schwa sound, you have to relax. You don't need to pronounce this sound clearly. That's why I think Japanese people find schwa sound difficult. It doesn't make sense to you. So, yeah, that is really difficult. So, I have to relax to pronounce this sound. And actually, you know what? I pronounce schwa sound because I speak with a British accent. So, I often pronounce schwa sound, but sometimes I pronounce this sound clearly. Really strong, subtle. I have to pronounce. Yeah, I have to do that. Not only schwa sound, I don't know how to say that. Function word, I don't know, like f, or articles. I tend to say cup of tea. I need to pronounce cup of tea, cup of tea, but I pronounce cup of tea. I tend to pronounce clearly. Yeah, something like this. I tend to pronounce clearly. I pronounce in this way, but I have to pronounce. I tend to speak. I tend to something like this. Doesn't make sense to you. So, yeah, schwa sound is really difficult. Yeah, schwa sound makes British English more difficult, I think. Alright, thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you tomorrow. Bye. So today, 27th, can you see that? Alright, so today I want to talk about British English is not easy for Japanese people. Yesterday, I talked about this topic, but I still want to talk about this topic. So, why do I think so? When we are students, we learn American English. So, things we learn have a huge, big effect on our English. Actually, when I was a student, I learned American English. At the time, I didn't know it was American English because I didn't know English had different accents. American, Canadian, British, Australian. I didn't know that. But even I didn't know things I learned has got a big effect on my English. So, you know what? Now I try to speak with a British accent, but sometimes I pronounce sometimes I pronounce R that I don't need to pronounce. Like first, I do. I pronounce first of all. Sometimes I do though. So when I pronounce first, I think things I learned when I was a student. Things I learned as a student has got big effect on my English. So And I'm not sure, but in my opinion, pronouncing R makes our English sound like a native speaker. I'm not sure, but I think so. Pronouncing R makes my English sound like a native speaker. For example, if I ask my mom to speak English, she can't speak English at all. But if I ask my mom to speak English, she might pronounce R really strong. Strong R, she might pronounce. So, yeah. So she might think she needs to pronounce R really strong before she realize it. I don't know. I think I'm wrong, but pronouncing R makes our English sound like a native speaker. That's why we tend to pronounce and things, and we learn American English. So I learned American English. So the things I learned has got a big effect on my English. So what do you think about it? I'm sorry. I don't think I get my story straight, but yeah, this is the reason why I think British English is difficult. You know what? Yeah, even I've been studying British English for 3 years. I pronounce R, so definitely things I learned as a student has got a big effect on my English. That's what I do. I pronounce R. But anyway, I didn't say. American English is cool. Why did I say cool? American English is cool, but yeah, just what I want to say is for British English is difficult. Does it make sense to you? All right, sorry, sorry for I didn't get my story straight. I'm sorry for that. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you tomorrow. Bye. 28th. Right. So, today I want to talk about British English is not easy for Japanese people. Part 3. Okay, I've been talking about this topic for 3 days in a row, and I still want to talk about this topic, but today I'm going to talk about the intonation. When we speak English, I think I might be wrong, but when we speak English, the intonation goes up at the end of a sentence. Like, I'm speaking English, I'm filming a podcast, English is difficult, something like that. This is called rising intonation or uptalk. We tend to use uptalk when we speak English. So that's why I think British English is difficult. In British English, the intonation goes down. The intonation goes down at the end of a sentence, like, "All right, do you need money?" Right. I don't know why I said it, but do you need money? Does it make sense? Do you need money? All right. You know what? Even when the sentence is a question, in British English, the intonation goes down. So this is British English. That's why, you know what, as I said, when we speak English, the intonation goes up. We tend to use uptalk when we speak English. So that's why British English might be difficult for Japanese people. we are not used to speaking like that. I was thinking why we tend to use updog. I know maybe what I'm going to say probably doesn't make sense, but I think Japanese personality has got something to do with this updog. Yeah. So when we speak English, we are not confident. We are not confident about speaking English. So that's why we tend to speak like asking. Even, just asking goes up. I'm speaking English. I've been studying English for 3 years. I've been filming a podcast, something like that. Even we don't ask a question, the intonation goes up because we are not confident about speaking English. We can speak English, even we can speak English. We are not confident about speaking English. That's why, the intonation goes up. Does it make sense to you? I think I might be wrong. Yeah, I know. What I'm saying doesn't make sense. I'm sorry if I big mistake. I'm sorry for that. But I thought so. So that's why British English is difficult for Japanese people. But you know what? I've been talking about British English for 3 days in a row. But this British English is modern RP. So in the UK, there are a lot of different accents. So, but the British English I've been talking about is modern RP. So in the North England, they speak in a different way. So, but actually, nowadays, even you speak with modern RP, this accent, sometimes the intonation can go up. Modern RP, spoken by Emma Watterson, famous Emma Watterson. So she speaks with modern RP, modern received pronunciation. As I said, with modern RP, if you speak with modern RP, your intonation goes down, but can go up. Actually, Emma Watson speaks like that. Her intonation goes up at the end of the sentences. Sometimes, I don't think always, but so yeah. That's it. I hope what I said makes sense to you. That's it. Alright, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. So today, 29th, can I say that? 29th. Alright, so today I want to talk about comics. It's not about Japanese comics, it is about comics in English. So, how do you improve your reading skills? Do you read novels? Do you read articles? How do I improve my reading skills? I read comics. And why not articles? Why not novels? Because I get sleepy. To be honest, I can't. I've never finished articles, novels. Even if they are Japanese ones, I can't finish, which is embarrassing. And I'm childish. Yeah, I know. One day I'm gonna finish. But yeah, so I still need pictures, which means I love manga, I love comics, especially, what is it? I think Naruto. I love Naruto. But anyway, but today I'm talking about comics in English. So do I have any recommendations? Yeah, of course, I've got some recommendations, but today I want to recommend this one. This one. Do you know Heartstopper? This is British one, and this is about LGBTQ thing. So I love this one. I love this comic, and also you can watch it on Netflix. There is a drama adaptation of this comic on Netflix. You can watch it. So I've watched it and I read Heartstopper. I love it. And and the characters are teenagers. So you can read and listen to English spoken by native speakers in daily conversation, which is really nice, don't you think? So I love this comic, and if you wanna try, I want you to read this one. So I forgot how many volumes, but yeah, I collect, and I love it. So today I was talking about comics in English. So I can't read articles, novels, but I read comics instead. All right. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. So today, 30th. Can you see that? 30th. All right. So today I want to talk about we should listen to our English. So I started making and uploading my short podcast videos, and I add Japanese subtitles to my short ones. To be honest, it is really hard to translate my English. At that time, I thought I could speak well, I could explain well, but I couldn't explain what I wanted to say in detail. So, really difficult. But this is a good opportunity to know my weakness, to identify my weakness. Before that, before I started making my short podcast videos, I didn't notice my vocabulary it was limited. I tend to focus on improving. I tend to focus on pronunciation because I love pronunciation. I focused on improving my pronunciation skills, but of course I need to improve my pronunciation skills. But my top priority is vocabulary. My vocabulary is limited, so I need to increase vocabulary. So I did the same study routine every day, but since then, after I realized it, I changed my study routine. Now I focus on increasing vocabulary, not improving my pronunciation skills. Of course, I do shadowing practice, but my top priority is vocabulary, increasing vocabulary. So, we need to listen to our English to identify my weakness, our weakness. It is important to study with vocabulary books, to do shadowing practice, or to watch Netflix, to listen to native speakers. It is really important. Yeah, this is what we have to do. But it is also important to listen to our English to identify our weakness. So, what do you think about it? Yeah. that's it. I think today's episode is quite short and I tried to speak slowly. What do you think? Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.